Hello students, welcome to this network analysis course lecture. In previous video, we have seen the Miller's theorem and its dual also. So there are two theorems in Miller theorem for voltages and dual of Miller's, that is for the currents. In this video, we'll try to understand the last theorem from the unit number 2, that is the reciprocity theorem. So we are going to study 3 points. One is what is the reciprocity theorem. Then we'll see one example on that reciprocity theorem, and then we'll see applications. So from Ravi Singh book, I have just copied these things, and then with the help of this particular, I will explain this particular theorem. So reciprocity theorem, it states that in a linear, so these are the conditions which are very important one. So your network must be linear or circuit must be linear. It should be bilateral. It should be active. That means there should be energy source. And how many energy source should be there? Single energy source. Network should consist of single energy source. That is very important one. So network should be linear, bilateral, active means there should be single energy source. If it is so, then the ratio of excitation to the response remains same when the positions of excitation and response are interchanged. So here you people know what is meaning of linear, bilateral, active, single source network, etc. So excitation means when you are giving, suppose voltage, you can see this network shown in this figure. So this voltage applied on the left side is called an excitation. So we can say it is input excitation, and when you say response, it is the output. So with this excitation of voltage, we are getting some current on the output side. So we can say this voltage is the excitation and current is a response. So again, I'll repeat this. It states that in a linear bilateral active single source network, the ratio of excitation to the response, ratio means this is V by I, remains same when the positions of the excitation and response are interchanged. So you can see in the second network, positions of this excitation and response are interchanged. So where response was there, now excitation is connected there. So this V is connected on the response side, and then wherever excitation was there, now we are seeing the response on that side. So in that case also, if your network is giving the same ratio, then we can say that the given network is reciprocal. Given network is reciprocal, or it satisfies the reciprocity condition, we can say. So in other words, it may be stated as, if a single voltage source VA in branch A, suppose there is branch A and there is a voltage source VA, produces the current IB, produces the current IB in the branch B. That means suppose this is branch A where the voltage source is VA. There is a branch B where the current where the current is IB. Then if the voltage source VA is removed, this voltage source VA is removed and inserted in branch B. So branch B is here. This branch B and this branch A. So if you remove this voltage source from A branch and insert into B branch, right? Insert in branch B, it will produce the current IB. This will produce the current IB in branch A. That is the meaning of the reciprocity theorem. So if you see the explanation for this particular one, when the voltage source V is applied at the port 1, see this is called as port 1 dash, right? This is called port 1. Port means pair of terminals. Port means pair of terminals, right? So this 1 dash is one port, and this 2 dash is second port, that is port 2. So when the voltage source V is applied at the port 1, it produces the current at the port 2. So when V is applied here, it is producing the current at port 2. If the positions of the excitation, that means source, input means source, and response are interchanged, you can see these things are interchanged here, right? That is, if the voltage source is applied at the port 2, then it produces the current I at port 1. Port 1, right? Now, what are the limitations of this theorem? The limitation of this theorem is that it is applicable only to single source network. So your network should be single source, right? That is very important one. Network should have the single source. This theorem is not applicable in network which has dependent sources or source. So there should not be any dependent source. That is another condition. This is applicable only in linear and bilateral networks, right? So there are three conditions. The network must have single source, network should not have the dependent sources, and network must be linear and bilateral network. That means it should consist of linear and bilateral elements. In the reciprocity theorem, position of any passive element RLC do not change. That means if there are some resistors and inductor and capacitor in this network, then the positions of those elements remain same. Only the excitation and response are interchanged. Only the excitation and response are interchanged. Now, what are the steps to be followed for reciprocity theorem? So these steps are: step number one is identify the branches between which reciprocity is to be established. For example, here we have to establish the reciprocity between this branch A and branch B here in this example, right? That is number one. Then find the current in the branch when excitation and response are interchanged. Find the current in the branch. Find the current in the branch when excitation and response are not interchanged. Not interchanged means, in this case, if excitation is given, find the current I flowing through this particular branch B, right? That is I is equal to IB. That you have to calculate. That is second step. Then third step is find the current in the branch when excitation and response are interchanged. When excitation and response are interchanged means, now you insert the source, that means excitation, into branch B, and then find out the current in branch A. So this current in the branch A should be same as that of the current in branch B, right? If it is so, then your network is reciprocal, or it is following the reciprocity theorem, right? So simple steps are there. So just we'll try to understand this particular whole theory, that means statement and the explanation, through numerical. So you can see this particular problem: calculate the current I and verify the reciprocity theorem for the network shown in the figure. And remember, in unit number 6, we are going to study condition for symmetry and condition for reciprocity. So that time we are going to use this particular theorem to find out the condition for reciprocity, whether given network or circuit is reciprocal or symmetrical, etc. Right? So that time we'll see. And then after this example, we'll try to understand through application where this is exactly used in the electronics, right? In communication. So this is the network. Now, as per the conditions given, there is only one independent voltage source is there. No dependent sources are there, and the network is linear and bilateral. Now, to find the current I, right, without changing the excitation and the response, okay, that means we have to keep the circuit as it is and then find out the current I. So here we have to use the basic circuit simplification techniques. Like, say for example, you can assign one current in the loop 1 or mesh 1, and second current in the mesh 2. Suppose here loop 1 I1 current, loop 2 I2 current, or mesh 1 I1 current, mesh 2 I2 current. So we have got two currents, I1 and I2. Now here you can see, if you see this particular this circuit, then we can understand that the current I is flowing through 6 ohm resistance, right? That means we can write here I2 is nothing but your I. So if you find out the value of I2, it is nothing but value of I, right? So calculation of current I when excitation and response are not interchanged. That is step number. So step number one is what? Step number one is identify the branches between which the reciprocity is to be established. So what is your branch? So you can say this is, suppose, my branch A, and this is my branch B. So I have to establish the reciprocity condition between branch A and B. Second one is, without interchanging this excitation and response, what is the value of the current in that particular branch? That means branch B. So for that we are finding this current. So it is simple. Apply the KVL to the loop 1. So this is plus minus, this is plus minus, this is plus minus, then this is plus minus, plus minus, and plus minus. So apply the KVL to the mesh 1. So it will give you the minus to plus is plus 20, then plus to minus is minus 5 into I1, and then plus to minus is minus 10 into I1 minus I2 as per the direction of the current I1 and I2. So just simplify this. You will get 15 I1 minus 10 I2 equal to 20. That is equation number 1. Similarly, apply the KVL to the mesh 2. So start from any point. If you start from, say, for example, 10 ohm, then plus to minus is minus 10 into I2 minus I1 now. And then minus plus to minus minus 4 into I2 and plus to minus minus 6 into I2 equal to 0. Simplifying this, you'll get minus 10 into I1 plus 20 into I2, 20 into I2, that is equal to 0. That is suppose your equation number 2. Equation number 2, right? Now you can solve these equations 1 and 2 using calculator. You will get values of I1 and I2. So here you are getting I1 as 2 ampere and I2 as 1 ampere. I1 as 2 ampere and I2 as 1 ampere. But what is I? I is nothing but I2. I is nothing but the I2. So value of this particular current I is 1 ampere. Value of the current I is 1 ampere. So we have calculated this value. So calculate the current I. So current I is 2 ampere. Current I is 2 ampere. And how will you verify the reciprocity? Now, without interchanging the excitation and response, we have calculated value of I. Now, when you interchange this response and excitation, still you should get the same value of the current I. So let us check that. So now the response was there in the branch A. So this is branch A, suppose. This is branch B as denoted here. You can see here. So now what we'll do, from branch A, we'll take this current excitation and we'll insert into branch B excitation of 20 volt. You can see 20 volt is taken from the branch A, inserted into branch B, and then the current there it was there in branch B is now shown in the branch A. So here it is I in the branch A. So now again you can use the mesh analysis and find out this current I1 and I2, right? And now here your I is minus I1, because you can see what is the direction of this current I1 is like this. So these are I and I1 are exactly opposite. So I is equal to minus I1. So again you can apply the KVL to mesh 1 with this polarity. This current will be there. So it is minus 5 into I1 and minus 10 into I1 minus I2. That means it is 15 I1 minus 10 I2 equal to 0. Equation number 1. And then for mesh 2 it is plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus. So it is, you can see plus to minus is minus 10 into I2 minus I1, then minus 4, plus to minus is minus 4 into I2, plus to minus is minus 20, and plus to minus minus 6 into I2 equal to 0. Simplify this, you will get minus 10 into I1 plus 20 into I2, that is equal to minus 20. That is your equation number 2, right? Solving these two equations simultaneously or using calculator, you will get I1 as minus 1 ampere and I2 as minus 1.5 ampere. Out of that, your I is equal to minus I1, that is nothing but equal to minus of minus 1, that is equal to plus 1. So we are getting same current. You can see we got the same current here, that is I as 1 ampere. And by interchanging the excitation and response, we are getting the same current. So if you just take the ratio of this one, because here we are seeing the statement that in a linear bilateral active single source network, the ratio of excitation to response remains same when the position of excitation and response are interchanged. That means you can see here before changing the position of the excitation and response, the ratio is voltage by current. So it is 20 by 1, right? This is actually voltage V by I. So it is V by I at port 1, which is 20 by 1, has to be equals to V by I, because now V is connected to the port 2, that is branch B, and I is there in the branch A. So what we are getting? We are getting same, that is 20 here, 20 volt, and the current is I, that is 1 ampere. 1 ampere. So even after interchanging the excitation and the response, we are getting same ratio of current to voltage. And therefore, we can say that at the end of this one, we can say that since the current I remains same, in both the cases, before interchanging and after interchanging the excitation and response, the reciprocity theorem is verified. Reciprocity theorem is verified. If it is not same, if you are not getting the same current, if you are not getting same ratio, then we can write the circuit or network is not following the reciprocity theorem, or circuit or network is not reciprocal. Hope it is clear to all. So I can show you some problems from this Ravi Singh book. So you can see the same thing was taken from here, from this particular book, Ravi Singh book. Reciprocity theorem, statement with the diagram, then explanation with the diagram, steps to be followed, and limitations also explained here. And then one example was taken here. You can take the another example here. You can see quickly. So now excitation is there 5 volt, and current I is their response. So here we can find out the current I using or this classical method, that is mesh analysis. I1, I2, I3. Out of that, I3 is I, and that I3 is coming to be 0.43 ampere without interchanging the excitation and response. Now we can change the we can interchange the excitation and response. So excitation is connected into this branch, and current response is there in the where the excitation was there. So these two are interchanged. And now if you find out this particular current, now current I1 is I. So what is the value of I1? You can see value of I1 is 0.43. So value of I1 is 0.43. That means I is 0.43. Here also we got I as a 0.43. That means ratio of excitation to the response before interchanging this and after interchanging this is same, and therefore we can say that the network is following the reciprocity theorem, or reciprocity theorem is verified for this one. So similarly, you can try for any other numericals. Now last point from this particular is applications. So where this is exactly used. So if you see this particular Wikipedia, again here this reciprocity theorem is given, right? So this is basically or in general it is called an Lorentz reciprocity theorem, because there are two to three type of the theorems are there: Green's reciprocity and then Lorentz reciprocity. So you can go into details later on. So if you see these particular forms of the reciprocity theorem, which are used in many electromagnetic applications such as analyzing electrical networks, just now we have seen, and then we'll be seeing in unit number 6 also, and antenna system. So mostly it is used in the electrical networks for finding out the reciprocity condition, and also in antenna systems. For example, now everybody knows the antenna. We'll take the example of that. For example, reciprocity implies that antennas work equally well as transmitter or receiver. So you know that in particularly a communication system, right? There is a transmitter and there is a receiver. So your antenna on transmitter side will transmit, and antenna on receiver side will receive. Okay, so antenna works equally well as transmitter and receiver, or receiver, right? And specifically that an antenna's radiation and receiving patterns. Radiation, so when it is a, what you can say, it acts as a transmitter, it is like a radiating the signal. And when it is acting as a receiver, it is a receiver right now on that side receiving the signals. So its radiation and receiving patterns, right, are identical. Right now, whether they are identical or not, that you can check using the reciprocity theorem. Reciprocity is also basic lemma that is used to prove other theorems about electromagnetic systems, such as the symmetry of the impedance matrix and scattering matrix, symmetries of Green's functions for use in boundary element and transfer matrix computational methods, as well as orthogonally properties of harmonic modes in waveguide systems. So I think this latter part you will not understand much, but the simple example of antenna that acts as a transmitter or receiver. So you can see what we understood here is this is excitation, and we are saying excitation and response. So in case of antenna, I can say this is a transmitter and this is a receiver. So if I interchange them, like here, I can make this a transmitter on this side and receiver on this side. So it should work equally, right now. It should work equally. So this theorem is used in communication, especially in antenna. So in electromagnetic, next year you study the use of the reciprocity theorem. Here you are going to study reciprocity theorem and its what you can say explanation, and how to solve the problems on reciprocity theorem in this unit. But moreover, in unit number 6, we'll be using this reciprocity theorem to prove the condition for reciprocity. Okay, so hope it is clear to everyone. So we'll stop here.